Alright, let's dive into something that's both fascinating and a bit mind-boggling: Samsung's Galaxy Watch and its ability to measure antioxidant levels. Yeah, you heard that right, a smartwatch that claims to give you insights into your diet. But how does it actually work? And more importantly, should you trust it? Let's break it down. First off, the hook here is pretty clever. Samsung's not just tracking your steps or heart rate, they're trying to tell you if you're eating enough fruits and veggies. Personally, I think this is a brilliant move. It's not just about fitness anymore, it's about holistic health. But here's the kicker: it's not as straightforward as it sounds. The watch measures something called the Antioxidant Index, which is essentially a fancy way of saying it's estimating how well you're meeting the WHO's daily fruit and veggie recommendations. What makes this really interesting is that it's not just counting calories or macros, it's trying to gauge the quality of your diet based on antioxidants. Now, let's talk about how it does this. The watch uses its bioactive sensor, which includes LEDs and a photodiode array. Here's where it gets cool: it focuses on measuring carotenoids, a specific type of antioxidant that gives fruits and veggies their orange, red, and yellow colors. Over time, these carotenoids accumulate in your skin, and the watch uses light absorption to estimate their levels. Specifically, it shines blue light onto your skin, and since carotenoids absorb blue light, the more light absorbed, the higher your carotenoid levels. In my opinion, this is a clever use of technology, but it's also a bit of a simplification. What many people don't realize is that carotenoids are just one type of antioxidant, so this isn't a complete picture of your body's antioxidant status. One thing that immediately stands out is the process itself. You have to manually enable this feature, take off your watch, press your thumb against the LEDs, and wait for a reading. It's not as seamless as checking your step count, which I think is a missed opportunity. If you take a step back and think about it, this feature could be way more impactful if it were passive, like, why can't it just measure this in the background? But I guess that's a technical limitation we're not quite at yet. Now, let's talk about the results. Your antioxidant index score ranges from 0 to 100, divided into 3 tiers: very low, low, and optimal. Here's where it gets tricky. A lot of users report low scores despite eating healthy. Why? Well, Samsung admits that the index isn't just about carotenoids, it factors in things like physical activity, sleep, stress, and even UV exposure. From my perspective, this makes the feature feel less precise. It's like trying to solve a puzzle with half the pieces missing. What this really suggests is that while the tech is innovative, it's still in its early stages. A detail I find fascinating is how Samsung validated this feature. They tested it against Raman spectroscopy, the gold standard for measuring carotenoids, and involved hundreds of participants. But here's the thing: real-world use cases are messy. People's diets vary wildly, and not all fruits and veggies are created equal in terms of carotenoid content. This raises a deeper question: how useful is this feature if it's so dependent on so many variables? In my opinion, the antioxidant index is more of a snapshot than a definitive health metric. It's a nudge in the right direction, not a complete solution. Personally, I think it's most valuable for people who want a simple way to track their dietary habits over time. If you're someone who struggles with eating enough fruits and veggies, this could be a helpful tool. But if you're already health conscious, you might find it frustratingly imprecise. What makes this really interesting, though, is what it represents for the future of wearables. Samsung's pushing the boundaries of what a smartwatch can do, and that's exciting. If you take a step back and think about it, this is just the beginning. Imagine a future where your watch can give you a full nutritional breakdown or even predict health issues based on your diet. That's the bigger trend here: wearables are becoming less about tracking activity and more about understanding you on a deeper level. So, here's my closing thought: the Galaxy Watch's antioxidant index isn't perfect, but it's a step in the right direction. It's a reminder that technology can't replace a balanced diet or professional advice, but it can empower us to make better choices. What do you think? Is this a feature you'd use, or is it just another gimmick? Let me know in the comments, I'd love to hear your take.